Hi friends, and welcome to the book Refuge. Welcome to the beginning of another reading vlog, and don't mind the bags under my eyes. So it's Monday, Tuesday, the 28th. Wow, I guess I didn't film anything yesterday. Sorry. Didn't really read anything much. Anyway, it is part of the deep freeze that is happening in the northern mid part of the country right now. It is feel like -50 outside right now, and I'm contemplating going to Barnes & Noble because that's what I do. It is another day of working from home, and when I work from home, I just can't sit still the whole day, so I'm gonna go and try starting my car, let it run for probably like a half an hour, because King of Scars came out today, and you might be asking, wouldn't you have pre-ordered that, Jen? Wouldn't that make sense? Well, yes, I did pre-order it, but I found out that I ordered it in a subscription box that's supposed to come with some goodies, some Lee Bardugo goodies and Grishaverse things, and unfortunately, it hasn't even shipped yet. I'm a little annoyed by the fact that they didn't explain that it wouldn't be coming the day that it comes out. Kind of frustrating to me. And I thought about what I'm going to do. So I decided I'm just going to go buy a copy, and then I will probably do it in a giveaway at some point to someone who doesn't have it, for the next milestone of my channel. So I'll go ahead and buy that one, just keep it in really good condition. And then the special edition that I'm getting, I'll keep for myself. But I also need to pick up Name of the Wind because that's what was decided is the next Murphy's Patreon read along with her. And I don't have that one, so I need to go pick that up by Patrick Rothfuss, I think, did that book. So there's 2 books I need to go get, and also it's like my lunch break, so I need to get out of my apartment because otherwise I'll be here for 2 days because tomorrow is supposed to be even colder, and so I don't even want to think about going anywhere tomorrow. So today at least, -50. Whatever. What else I'm planning to read this week? So I did start reading Sweet Obsession, which is one of my Romanceopoly rolls. I'm halfway through it, and it's just not what I was expecting it to be. That one is for read a chef or a foodie book. It's okay so far. I'm going to finish it today because it's super easy, but I just started the first few pages of Artemis Fowl, which I'm doing a reread for. I'm planning to try to do The Girl in the Tower and The Duke and I. So those are some books I'm looking to take on this week. Also, The Lord of the Rings is what I have on audio, Fellowship of the Ring. If I'll start that yet, not sure. But anyway, that's what it's looking like. So I'm gonna go be stupid and go somewhere. So yeah, talk to you guys. Hey, well, I'm only 42 pages into King of Scars, and I'm already crying because of a certain character who, if you follow the Grishaverse, you know that this character was going to be in King of Scars, and this character is already making me cry, and I'm not prepared for it. Also, Nikolai is amazing. I haven't even read a chapter from his perspective yet. So this one, it's written like Six of Crows was, where there's different perspectives of people in it, which I'm sure I'll like. But I really just wanted to read about Nikolai, and this other person is like all that I want, and so there's other people, and I don't really care about them right now. I'm sure that I will. But right now, I just don't care. So, we'll see. But anyway, I just had to pop in for a second to talk about it. Also, it is still very cold. So, hi guys. It is Friday. Time to do an end of the week check-in. Okay, so I went on a weird but fun binge since we've last spoken. So first I'll talk about where I'm at with King of Scars. So I'm having heart problems right now. So I'm 104 pages in. Loving it. It's so good. Started this, I think we talked about this in the last clip. It's always hard in vlogs because I I should rewatch what I just did, but whatever. Bought this when it came out, you know, during the epic cold spree we've had for the last 3 days here. It's been awful. I am loving it. And there's no however or but to this. I'm just saying I'm taking my time with this because it'll be probably a couple years before the next one comes out. Who knows? And I want to spend time with these characters. And the plot is kind of like slowly building right now. I mean, there's a lot going on that has me on the edge of my seat, but also it's switching between a lot of I don't know the full number of characters we're switching between in here, and I don't want to spoil you. Like, I'm not going to say who it is anyway, but it's switching a pretty good amount, so it's like, you know, you're trying to catch up on all the different stories that are being told, and I'm loving it. It's really good. Well, because I wanted a break and I didn't want to finish that too much, I decided to do some of my Romanceopoly reads because most of this week was still in January, so I didn't really want to plow into my February TBR too much yet. So I was like, well, the Romanceopolies, that's for the whole year. So I'm going to dive into that. So I read, and I think I talked about it, maybe I didn't. I read Sweet Addiction, which was my read a chef or foodie romance. It's about this girl who's a baker, and she runs into this really rich guy. It's 50 Shades of Grey light, like without the BDSM parts, but still the controlling kind of parts. But the love interest, he's a little less douchey, but still pretty much. And that ended up being part of a duology, which I wasn't prepared for. So then I read Sweet Possession. I'm going to put pictures of all of these up here because I just have them all on my Kindle, all the books I'm about to talk about, because like I said, I went on a binge. And so I'll put up pictures of them. And this was part of a duology. So I really didn't like Sweet Addiction that much, but then I wanted to know what happened to them. And since they were really fast reads for me, I read the second one. I gave them both 2.5 stars. Kind of wish I didn't read the second one now. Just didn't care about it that much because the girl, like, she stands up for herself a little bit more than Anna does. And so I like that about her, but she still gave in to pretty much everything that he wanted, which was annoying. After that, I had to read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, which this is a book that was is on a bunch of lists for Peace Love Books, who is running it, and so I decided to read that as a book from her recommendations list instead of reading The Lover Unbound, because I really wanted to check out Birthday Girl. Birthday Girl is an age gap romance between a 19-year-old and a 38-year-old, and I know it sounds weird. It is weird, but this was a really fun read. And when you read the situation of it, it isn't as creepy as it sounds. And I know people in my real life who have pretty big ages in their relationships. And I think if it's done right, it can be really sexy and kind of a fun read. And hey, let's be real. I've read lots of fantasy where the guy is hundreds of years older than the girl. That's basically what the whole Black Dagger Brotherhood is anyway. They're all really old. So I think there's just this stigma of it being in like real life that makes it weirder. But obviously I only like ones where everybody is of legal age. Like, I'm not into any illegal activities. Okay? I'm not. Birthday Girl was really cute. I gave it 4 stars. I've decided, because as I'm going to go through these, I've read a lot of romances, which will be fun because it's February. I wanted to read a lot of love books. I'll do a separate wrap up at the end of the month because in 2 days I read 7 romances. I'm getting through them right now, but I'm going to do a separate wrap up because I don't want to bog down my wrap up with all these romances that probably my normal viewers don't really care about. Anyway. So I read Birthday Girl and loved it. And then that led me into Torn by Carrie and Cole, which was another age gap romance, which was a little more risky because the girl starts underage. Nothing happens until she's older, but it kind of hinked me out. It was a little bit hinky for me. But it was the start of this other series by Carrie and Cole that I really liked, which was called... which was an Ashes and Ember and Ashes series. And it's about these rock stars and the women that they love and stuff like that. So that's why I like Torn, because then it led me to Vandal, which is a book by her. I'm not going to go into what all these are. I'll talk about them in the wrap up, which led me to Talon,
which led me to go back to Penelope Douglas, where I read Punk 57, which is actually young adult, but like not young adult because I'd say it's new adult because the characters are in their senior year of high school, but it's an 18 plus kind of story. But that was really good too. So yeah, those are all the books that I read. Today I finally started Night of Flame. I just started at work today, so that's kind of going to be my focus over the weekend, as well as Artemis Fowl I started this week, but I only read the first like 5 pages because I just wasn't in a middle grade mindset. I was in a romance mindset, and so it was really hard to go back to Artemis Fowl and all his little quippy preteen self, and I just couldn't do it. So I had a very romance heavy week and I don't regret it. It's been very fun. Peace Love Books. So if you just saw my TBR video that went up on Friday, you know that there was a space for Romanceopoly, which was the surprise challenge. And that's to read a Fated Mates, which she was using an example of like imprinting or meant to be mates or stuff like that. So that's going to be basically any of the Black Dagger Brotherhood books because they all have mates. Or she mentioned she was like something like Twilight or Sarah J. Maas books because the Fays have bonded people. Or then there was a bunch more options on the Romanceopoly website. And so I ended up picking one that's called Ice Planet Barbarians, which is supposed to be like a sci-fi paranormal romance, which sounds really fun. And it was only 200 pages. So I've decided I'm going to do that. And I'll get to a Black Dagger Brotherhood later. Like I can read Black Dagger Brotherhood for pretty much like any book on Romanceopoly. So it's like I'm not in a hurry to get to those. And I wanted to try some that like I wouldn't normally read, which is why I like read Birthday Girl and why I read, I'm going to try Ice Planet Barbarians, which is interesting. So anyway, weird wrap up. I read a lot this week, like on my Goodreads, I'm at 33 books for the month. And that's because I read the whole series of Saga, which was 9 books. And then I read these 6 books. So when I do my like totals for the year, in my like other calculations though, I'm going to count those Saga as one book. Like in my, on my spreadsheet and stuff, I'm counting it as one book just because that's basically what it was. For page wise, like, I mean, the story is awesome. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you so much. I put up new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you can watch some more right now. Have a great day. Bye.